Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and in today's video I'm going to talk to you about the Olympus 40-150 f4 and how it compares to the f2.8 that I own for myself. So I have this on loan from OM System to give it a try, and my first opinion, if I start with it, I am surprised by this lens. You know, in last week's video, I'll put a link up here to the video you saw me in the field catching the images that you are going to see pretty close up in this video. And I had a couple of negatives about this lens, but if you going to compare those two lenses, I would actually say that they are not made for the same reason, and therefore it's hard to compare those two lenses. So if you look at this thing on its own, if you look at it as a travel lens, just a fast, quick lens that you can take some handheld shots with, then I think this is a brilliant lens, and especially the image quality. I was really surprised about the image quality, but it serves a different purpose than the 2.8 version. So let's dive into the images that are shot with this lens, and I'll explain to you what my conclusions were about this lens. So let's look at this first image that I actually shot. It's way before sunrise, so let's go into the computer and show you this image. You know, this isn't much. So if you look at this, the plants here at 100%, they are pretty okay. But this is about, yeah, let's say 30 minutes before sunrise, something like that. But about 15 minutes later, two cows walked into the frame, and you've probably seen this shot in the video. An amazing moment that I think I nailed. This is one of my favorite photos from the past couple of months, just because of that moment that it really occurred there. You know, those cows weren't there, and then all of a sudden they walked into my shot. So this is about luck, but on the other hand, if you don't show up there at that moment, you're never lucky. So I was really happy with those cows. But if you go and zoom into those cows and just look at it, it's absolutely amazing how much detail there is in those cows, that light around the ears, the grasses here in the background. And remember, this is zoomed in at more than 200% here. So I think I always zoom into a maximum of 100%. That's more than enough to see if an image is crisp or not. And everything in this image is as crisp as I would want it to be. And I didn't even add any sharpening to this image. This is just the way it is. I only did the noise reduction here, the AI noise reduction, but there was no sharpening necessary at all, and that actually surprised me. You know, this lens is much cheaper than the 2.8 version. I think this is about 400 euros cheaper, if I'm correct. But the image quality is the most important thing for a lens. And the couple of negatives, let's talk about those negatives again. Well, first of all, if you own the 2.8 and you just pick this thing out of your bag and you want to take a quick shot, you can just open that lens hood and you're ready to go. With this lens, first of all, you have to take the lens cap off, turn it on. You know, it's just seconds, but it is a little work. So I love that returnable lens hood on the 2.8 version. Even it is known to explode. You know, a lot of people have come across this lens hood explodes. I haven't had any problems with it. I have to say this is my second, because I lost one in the past. So I don't know if I would have used that for 6 years straight, if it would have exploded with me, but until now it still functions as it's supposed to be. The second negative, and this is quite a big one for me, and there were a couple of comments on last week's video with people giving solutions for this problem. But the 2.8 version, if you look at it, it has a detachable focus ring here. If you detach it or you retrieve it to the back, it's in manual focus. If you put it up, it's in autofocus. So in this case it was still pretty dark and it was very difficult to focus on those cows. So I quickly needed to switch to manual focus because the camera didn't really focus on the cows properly as I wanted it to be. But that wasn't possible with this f4 lens. So there's no retrievable or movable focus ring. There's no buttons on the side of the lens. So it wasn't possible to switch to manual focus fast. Well, there are a lot of solutions for this problem. I read in the comments a lot of people programmed it to those front buttons here on the camera. You can also program it to your switch here in the back of your camera. So there are a couple of solutions, but again, you have to program it. And if you're like me, just testing this thing out, I almost missed out on this particular shot because of that. Of course, preparation is key here, and if you own this lens, then you know it, and then you will probably program it to your camera. So that's a solvable issue. Another issue that I had, if you want to switch between landscape orientated and portrait orientated shots, that's a little bit more difficult with this lens. So the 2.8 version has this lens collar, and if you open that up, you can see you can put the lens collar on your tripod and then turn the camera inside of the tripod collar from portrait to landscape. I think that is a very good feature. Of course, again, you can overcome this by buying an L bracket. If you got an L bracket, you just release your ball head, put the camera in portrait mode and put it back on. But I don't own an L bracket. I never used it before. And so you have to hang the camera just beside of the tripod. And it is a very light lens, so it is possible to do that. But it's more difficult to change your composition from landscape to portrait with this. It's much easier to leave your tripod as it is and just turn your camera inside of that lens collar that's attached to the 2.8. So that is about the only negative thing that I could actually think of with this f4 lens, because for the rest the image quality is just amazing. Someone asked me in the comments if with zooming the front element is rotating. No, it isn't. So the front element is just standing still. It's only when you activate the lens, so you can't use it like this. So the moment you turn on the camera, you have to detach the lens first, and this is the operating mode. So when it's came out, then this is it. But from this point on, there's no turning of the front element here. So you can attach filters to it, especially when you're using graduated filters. You don't want this front element to turn around, because then your graduated filter will turn around. So there's no worry about that. You can attach filters to it. So it's a very well thought of lens actually. So let's look at a couple more images that I shot with it. Let's go to those cows that I shot here. You can see that the image quality again really amazed me. This is at 100%. If you go even further, let's go to 200%. You know, this is without any sharpening software, just the normal noise reduction that I used in Lightroom. But if you look at it, this is the image without noise reduction. You see there's a little bit of noise, but again, this is still before sunrise. So is the problem that there is noise? No, absolutely not. Lightroom is very capable of handling noise situations like this these days. And even if you would add a little bit of sharpening, you can really pull those details back into the image, which I didn't even do, because I think there are enough details in this particular image. Let's have a look if I have some more images that I shot with it. This is also shot with this lens, and you can see it's straight into the sun. It's a little bit blurred, the sun, but I didn't notice any on any occasion when I was using this. I didn't see any lens flare at all. shooting straight into the sun, like for example this image, straight into the sun, didn't have any lens flare. This is also straight into the sun, no lens flare at all. It's not straight into the sun, but the sun is a little bit above me. But with some lenses, immediately you can see some flare above or in your image. But you can see still all those details are in those fields, and I just really like it. I was really surprised. The big advantages, because this lens of course has some advantages over the 2.8. Also, it's small and it's lightweight. I have to say it doesn't. At first I thought it felt like a toy, but if you use it a little bit longer, it's just as rugged as the 2.8 version here. But it's just smaller, and because it's so small for this focal range, you tend to think that it's more like a toy, but it actually isn't at all, if you ask me. So I'm really surprised by this lens. And then comes the biggest question that people ask me: would I prefer this over the 2.8? Well, I actually kind of thought about this question, and on front I thought to myself, this thing is never ever going to be beaten, never, because I love this lens, and if I would take only one lens when I'm out, it would be this 40-150 f2.8. So I kind of knew the outcome, that this would never be replaced, but this comes damn close to the 2.8 version. It's actually funny, because if I had the money, which at the moment is a bit of a problem, but I would actually consider buying both these lenses, because this is my real go-to rugged lens when I'm out doing landscape photography. It is fast, it is amazingly sharp. I think if you look at sharpness, they are equal. I don't think there is any noticeable difference between those two lenses. But this is a lot easier to use with the manual focus clutch. For me, of course, I can program it to buttons, but I assigned these buttons to other functions. So yeah, for me that wasn't really an option. I can use it without the L bracket. You know, an L bracket for an OM1, if you look at one from Really Right Stuff, I think that's it, RRS, that's about 300 euro. 300 euro for an L bracket. So I just refuse to pay that kind of money. So maybe if there is a cheaper solution on the market, I will look into it. If you have a good L bracket for an OM1 Mark II camera or OM1, they are similar. So let me know in the comments what you have and why you use it, what the price is, and I will look into that. Because I eventually think I would like an L bracket, but I just refuse to pay that much of money for it. So this thing for me wins it, but it's not due to image quality, but it's due to usability. For me, when I'm out in the field doing landscape photography, this is definitely my go-to lens, and it probably will never change. But now comes, if I would go to travel by airplane and I need to travel light, or if I want to go to, for example, the zoo with my children and I don't want to carry my heavy backpack or anything, then this is a real good rugged alternative. It's small, it's light, the image quality is phenomenal, and that's what I said, it serves a total different purpose, a total different photographer than the 2.8 version. So yeah, I think that's the conclusion of this video. This is an absolutely amazing lens, but not for my landscape photography. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments about this lens. I'm still having it for a couple of days and then I have to return it, and hopefully I can get my hands on the 8-25 f4, which I'm dying to try out for a long time, and maybe I'll make a video of that in the future. So yeah, that's my conclusion of this lens. absolutely worth buying if you're into travel photography. If you just want a lightweight quality lens, then this is definitely the go-to lens. But it's not the go-to lens for me, because that will stay the 2.8 that I have right here. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video and this little review with the images of the F4 version. And yeah, I hope to see you on the next video. If you like this video, please push the thumbs up button, and there is a subscribe button in the description. If you push that, yeah, you will get a message from YouTube when I release my next video. All your support is massively appreciated. I appreciate all your help, your comments, your likes. Even your buy me a coffee links. You know, I'm amazed by what you guys are supporting me with. So yeah, there's a link in the description for the buy me a coffee if you like that. And I just hope to see you on the next video, which will probably be around here, my house somewhere, on a real foggy day. So hope to see you then. Bye bye.